participate in cycle number 6 this past weekend. Um, these are games that were scrims from yesterday, aka Monday. So we will be doing replay casts here, as I did point out initially. And we are pretty well underway with the draft. So we got Moira Kinesis, Electrician, and Magnus going to be banned out here. So the one that stands out to me is the Kinesis ban, um, basically forcing our Hellborn side here to ban out the Magnus as their second ban. So this allows them to pick up the Engineer as the first pick, followed up by Aluna, Flux into Andromeda, and Voodoo Jester into Swiftblade. So we're already seeing the NG Flux combination. They finish it off with a Voodoo Jester as the other support hero, which will most likely be the main support. And over on the side of Hellborn, we see a Swiftblade, which is a very good counter to Engineer in general, but combine that with the Flux pulling into the energy field, it will be very hard for them to coordinate, uh, perplexing the Switchblade into the energy field. So the Switchblade is a very strong counter pick against the Legion's lineup. They also have the Andromeda swap as well. However, the Andromeda will need really good positioning this game to not get also pulled into the combo. We see the second stage of bans already done. We have the Rally, the Bubbles, and the Moraxis banned out here by our Legion side. So they take out the Initiators to lock down for the Switchblade that they don't want to go up against. The Bubbles, I believe, is a very good ban specifically because, again, the Engineer being able to take cover, the Voodoo Jester stun quite easily. It's a very hard hero to gank, so they get rid of the Bubbles. Then we see the Deadwood, the Sir Bensington, and the Tundra. To be quite honest, the only ban here that I really like is the Bensington. The Tundra ban does make a little bit of sense, but I do think that they should focus a little bit more on the heroes that synergize with the Flux specifically. And we see a fourth pick, Balfagor, come out. So they already have the Flux, Balfagor, and Engineer synergy. However, they are going up against the Swiftblade, so the Balfagor might have some trouble netting kills on the Swiftblade specifically. The fourth pick for our Hellborn side is going to be Flint Beastwood, so that is a pick that we do not get to see all that often. And being paired up with the Swiftblade, that does mean we will see a secondary core Flint Beastwood, and they might look to run that in the mid lane or the short lane, depending on whether or not they want to run a tri-lane setup. The final picks for both sides were Scout and Behemoth. So we will have a position 1 Scout on the side of Team Tim, going up against the Swiftblade and the Flint Beastwood. Quite an interesting finish to their draft. The Behemoth, I believe, does make a lot of sense as they were lacking not only initiation, but a hero that could either offlane or be played as a roamer. Now, with the Andromeda and the Aluna being picked up, I do believe we will see more of that farming style Behemoth. However, it looks like they want to run the Switchblade defensive tri-lane, and they will be running the Behemoth in the off lane. So it's safe to say they are definitely banking on both the Swiftblade and the Flint Beastwood here on the side of Orcs of Newerth to do very well for them, because they will end up what will end up happening is they will end up having 3 heroes that are quote supports with low farm, and in exchange they will be hoping to have very good farm on the other 2 cores. The side of Legion, however, they will be looking to get farm up on 3 heroes versus the 2, with the Balfagor actually going into the mid lane, being played by a huge soul here. The Scout, he will be going 2 versus 1 with Voodoo Jester against the Behemoth. Oh my god, that noise. So Scout, it's safe to say he will be having a good start. And then the Flux and Engineer will be going 2 versus 3 against the Switchblade tri-lane. Some mines already being tanked here by Andromeda, so he's going to take some damage. As I didn't see if Engineer ported up there, but he did place some mines, run back to the fountain to get some regen, and then he is now back in the lane. But they will not have the keg stun for the level 1, so he is very vulnerable to dying. Both the turret and the keg stun would be more beneficial to his survivability against the Switchblade. So if he can get on top of the Engineer, that is most certainly going to be a kill. The Flux, however, much tankier of a target. They will need to land lots of auto attacks. They're going to put some pressure here on the Aluna. The Engineer getting boxed out by the two supports. Switchblade, he will just do his farming thing for now. So Balfagor against Flint, I'm actually not really sure how this matchup should go. I would imagine Flint should have a good time in the beginning, but once Balfagor can get the minions going and then he just runs them at the Flint, it will be pretty annoying for Flint to try to combat the cookies. It will have to use his flare most likely to kite them. We'll see how Balfagor does here. And then Scout, he should be more or less free farming. Behemoth, he already has 4 last hits though, so he's doing a good job of getting some farm. And Voodoo Jester, he's just content with doing a pull. They're not too concerned with boxing out the Behemoth initially. The supports are going to try to get a kill on the Flux here. Andromeda though, he's taking some pressure. Will he end up going down? There's a mine up in 3 seconds. Or will Engineer be the one who goes down? There is a creep wave here now, but no slow on the Flux and no stun on the Engineer. So they are lacking some of these bigger spells. It's safe to say the level 2 for our Legion side here will be quite impactful. And we've already seen them output a lot of harass onto the supports. Switchblade though, he has his marchers picked up now. And this is where it could start to get scary for Engineer and Flux as the kill potential is starting to pick up. We do see Aluna here in a really offensive position. She's going to eat a Mind Stun and a pull from Flux, but Switchblade... Okay, the level 2 was there. I actually missed the Bloodlust kill as Voodoo Jester rotated in for a kill with the Cursed Ground onto the Flint Beastwood. So the Flint Beastwood very vulnerable to the rotations early on. And Balfagor gets credit for the assist. Comet Stun comes out onto the Engineer. Luna gets pulled into the tower. But here comes the lane control in favor of Flux, so he will most certainly pick up the level 2 now. And once they have the release and that on top of the keg stun, they will most certainly be able to kill one of the supports as they almost had enough damage earlier. So he now has the release. Scout is farming 299 GPM. So he actually has a few less last hits than the Switchblade. And the Behemoth denying a couple of creeps coming into play there. But he will pick up some farm here on the pull. He's going to take some really heavy pressure here from the Behemoth Fissures. And he will need to ferry himself out some regen as Behemoth will have another fissure coming up pretty soon with that mana potion. So Behemoth, despite going 2 versus 1, he picks up a bottle here at minute 4. He's level 5. He's doing quite well considering he is going up 2 versus 1. So the Scout, Voodoo Jester lane proving to not be too disruptive for Behemoth. Balfagor picks up a bottle as well. I missed what rune spawned. And I missed the kill in the top lane as they actually get the catch here onto the Flux. So a lot of damage coming out now between the Switchblade and the supports. It's a 2-to-1. Oh, bottom lane. Oh man, I missed that completely. I was not expecting Behemoth to pick up a kill on the Voodoo Jester. Actually not sure how that happened. I don't know if he tanked creeps or something, but Behemoth getting a kill there in the bottom lane, that's massive. Massive for Orcs of Newerth. Balfagor and Flint both level 6 now, so the kill potential is starting to rise for one another. Alphagor a little bit better sustain here with the corpse conversion, healing him up as he walks over the corpses. He's going to tank a flare here, but Flint and Beastwood will be out of mana now. I love the early Iron Shield pickup on Balfagor, as Flint likes to do a lot of poke harass with the Hollow Point RNG procs. Switchblade now with the completed Ghost Marchers will be pretty scary, especially for Engineer who has no Marchers yet. Bottom lane we have a level 6 Behemoth, and man, that's got to be scary for Scout if he does show himself on the creep wave. Behemoth could do some heavy pressure there with the Shockwave. I like that Behemoth has picked up a hatchet as well. They will continue to get his farming at 280 gold per minute. The Flux still struggling, only on 166, going up against the tri-lane. We have Balfagor bottling the 6-minute rune here, which will be the Mystic rune. Flint Beastwood is trying to set up a kill here in the top lane. He throws out the flare, they get the Comet Stun onto Engineer. The power throw and the auto attacks from Flint Beastwood will be enough to bring him down. So they get a kill on the Engineer. However, this will leave some space to Balfagor as he hits the level 7 mark. He will have the max corpse conversion now, and he will start to put some heavy pressure into the tower. I would like to see him pick up, well, I would like to see him pick up Marchers, but also a Ring of the Teacher. Oh, is he going to get some nice blocks here? Oh, very unfortunate. If that was actually a surround, that would have been super well played. And Curse Ground, it looks like, ticks down Behemoth here in the bot lane as there was some heavy damage coming out from the marksman shot. So Behemoth not able to survive some burst from Scout with the Curse Ground applied to him. There's the level 6 on the Switchblade, and man, it's gonna be scary now for Flux. Any stun or setup damage for the Blade Frenzy, and we could definitely see a kill onto Flux with Swift Slashes. But Flux is level 5 now, he's got level 3 in the release. Engineer is in the mid lane here. We have Veiled Rot on the Voodoo Jester. It will actually break with that Ward of Sight, revealing him. He places his own Ward of Sight here. Not sure if they caught up on that. The stun will not bounce. A nice split coming out from the Hellborn side. The Hell on Newerth will slow down the Flint as he goes for a dive, but he won't get in range for a kill. No boots here on the Engineer or the Aluna, but Flux is now here with a release. They will get the kill onto Aluna, and Flint will actually go down to the creeps from Balfagor. Nice job with the micro there from Huge Soul as he spawns a new set of creeps. And they might look to put some pressure here on this tower. A very aggressive dive coming out from Flux as they try to go for some more kills, but as we can see, that won't happen. 8-minute rune will spawn regen for Balfagor. And now I'm assuming he's going to pick up the Plated Greaves or something like the Vestments, but I also, as I pointed out, would like to see the Ring of the Teacher. And one small thing to note is that I don't like him maxing the Regurgitate. I would like to see him put points into the Demonic Pathogen, as the Regurgitate is almost like a 1-point wonder. It does scale in damage, however the slow is static, and you always get the 6 corpses for the corpse conversion. Whereas the Demonic Pathogen scales very well. In the top lane, we see Engineer and Flux getting a kill on the Swiftblade, but it does come at a cost of the Flux, but I think they will be very happy with that. The Voodoo Jester Curse Ground will take out Flint with the help of the minions from Balfagor, so apologies for my camera work, but we are seeing kills in multiple lanes simultaneously. Yeah, I would really like to see the Demonic Pathogen. The Silence just does great damage as well as increases in duration, and you can spread it to enemies when they gather on the target you silence. So overall, the damage output from the Demonic Pathogen is much better. Curse Ground will take down Aluna here as he uses the Spirit Ward to to get some big damage in. There's a serial killer streak now coming out for Voodoo Jester. Scout, he's still not farming the greatest, only at 337 GPM. So despite having 0 deaths, he is still quite a ways behind the Switchblade, who's farming at 390 gold per minute. But next in line is the Balfagor. He goes for the Ghost Marchers. I'm not too sure how I feel about the Ghost Marchers. They do give him a lot of mobility and get him in range to catch up to heroes like Flint Beastwood and chase him down. However, when you think about how a Balfagor is usually executed, you typically want to just be tanky and not so much worry about your mobility, because you're going to be pushing head on into the towers, and you want them to come to you, not the other way around. Voodoo Jester is trying to get in range here for a Acid Cocktail Stun. It will come out. A nice Deja Vu from Aluna, but it doesn't destroy the cast. The Hell in Newerth will take out Aluna as the kill credit actually went to Voodoo Jester. So meanwhile, in the top lane, we have some mines being placed here. Flux is level 6 now with the pull. They have a Rev Ward dewarding here. He will pull Andromeda into the mines. The Kegson, they will take out Andromeda. Switchblade, he is not feeling confident to go for a kill here, even though his team support was coming in with the teleport. So despite having the slashes and the Blade Frenzy up, here comes the slashes, the Blade Frenzy as well with the Toxin Claws, the Stun from Aluna. They will take him down. Behemoth very low in the he's very low here, but it's almost like he's trying to bait out the Scout. He has the Shockwave ready to go, and he's kind of poking into the tower a little bit, but he would need the extra creep damage assistance from the Shockwave to kill the Scout here. I believe he wants to go for it. He's going to throw out the silence, and Behemoth will end up going down. So almost feel like the Fissure needed to come out first. It was really well played by Scout there, though, to kind of bait out the Behemoth to go on him as he had the silence coming back up. Balfagor here with the Invis Rune will not find anything, as Flint Beastwood was noticing something was up. Perhaps they spotted out the Engineer, and that might have gave it away. He does make his way in now. He's going to use the Regurgitate. Hell on Newerth comes out. The creeps will be spawned, but I don't think this is going to be enough damage. It looks like he didn't spawn the full five creeps, and whether that's due to him not having the charges up, or he didn't pick up corpses, however you want to look at it, it will end up not being enough for the kill. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the 4-1-4 skill build. I would much rather see the 1-4-4. Bottom lane, Shockwave comes out onto both Scout and Engineer. This will be a kill on the Engineer. Energy Field will be taken out by the Creep Wave, so a nice job from Behemoth. Scout is behind the enemy lines here. Looks like the tower didn't scout him out, unfortunately, as he did a nice job of walking around. And I don't know if I missed the Voodoo Jester kill, but Flint, maybe some assistance got a Voodoo Jester kill. The Enraged Stun will miss there. Curse Ground is going to put some good pressure on the Behemoth. 3 more seconds. This might be a kill, actually. Okay, no, he is going to survive the Curse Ground. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, we have Switchblade. Oh, I just remembered I forgot to put my I need to change something for next match. Apologies for the visuals. Flare comes out here onto Engineer. Balfagor picks up the portal key. He's going to show it off right away here with a kill onto Flint. Still has his demonic pathogen ready to go. But that was a level 2 Hell on Newerth. You see the Rune Cleaver being picked up here by Switchblade at the pre-15 minute mark. And Scout, he is almost at his Cleaver. He's not too far behind. He's going to throw out some heavy pressure here onto the Behemoth. Disarm comes out as well. He will actually miss the fissure stun. One more auto attack, and it will be enough for the kill. The disarm doing some heavy pressure there. Balfagor running into Aluna here with the corpse conversion. It will get the kill onto Aluna. Andromeda, I believe he will get out of range with the Striders before Voodoo can catch up. So the Balfagor is actually doing quite well this game. Sitting on 303, 450 gold per minute now. Continues to be the top farmer in the game. He overtakes the Switchblade. But the Cleaver was just picked up. Scout also got his Cleaver delivered. So both the carries getting their Cleavers at a pretty similar timing. Jester will get stunned up here from the Luna, and Switchblade will come in for the kill. Behemoth is getting close to his portal key, but he has dropped off quite significantly with the 3 deaths. He was farming very well in the early stages. We've actually picked up on Flux with the Steam Boots bottle. He's sitting on almost 1600 life. It's level 9. Alphagor, another 2000 gold saved up. We could definitely see something like a Berry Rifle to negate the Behemoth Shockwave when the portal key comes out. We could also see something very aggressive like Staff of the Master or Spell Shards or even Gnome's Wisdom. There's lots of item routes that a Balfagor can pick up. We see him diving into the bot lane here with the Hell on Newerth being activated. So the stun come out from Aluna, the corpse conversion or the cookie slowing him down. Scout comes in with a big crit disarm, takes out the Aluna. He's a serial killer streak. They do lose the Voodoo Jester to Flint, as I believe the money shot got him. Here comes double damage Balfagor now with the regurgitate. The Flux pull in will pull him back. Flint will just melt. And I wanted to point out that when the Balfagor blinked here, had he had max demonic pathogen, I believe he wouldn't even have needed the Hell on Newerth there for the kill. But he does decide to use the ultimate nonetheless. So, Knuckles and 1k gold on the Flint. I would like to see him pick up some kind of stat item. Maybe something like a... it's tough to say. I feel like he could maybe use an Energizer, or even like a tablet wouldn't be... Sounds kind of bad, but he needs a way to get away from the Balfagor. Because he's just dying solo to the Balfagor right now on the 900 HP with no mobility. It's a really awkward position to be in as a Flint because the portal key pickup on the Balfagor was very smart, which just allows Flint to get bursted down very quickly. We have a Acolyte staff picked up on Balfagor, so he might be going for a Frostfield plate, which would not be a bad choice as well. The Switchblade actually goes down here. Looks like they used the NG Flux combo. I missed if there was mines involved or whatnot, but Andromeda was not able to help him out with the swap. I'm actually not too sure what they're doing here. They just saw their Switchblade die, and they kind of walk in blind to their own jungle. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense what they're doing here. They either need to protect the Switchblade from the start, a nice deja vu, but it will only delay the death as the damage was there. Double tap coming out for Flux. Curse Ground will take out Flint as he was trying to port to base, but Legion's starting to cause a lot, or create a lot of momentum. Ever since the Balfagor portal key, it's kind of opened up a lot of the map for Flux and Scout. However, they did kill the scout as well with the Switchblade. So yeah, I did miss that. Alfgor, he's gonna go in onto Switchblade here. The swap not really doing a whole lot, just kind of kills him anyway. Andromeda's really not positioning himself well to help Switchblade out. But yeah, the portal key from Balfour continues to be really disruptive for them. They finally get their Behemoth portal key at the 20-minute mark. And safe to say they kind of wanted this more like around the 15 to 16 minute mark, as he was doing really well in the laning phase. He was sitting on 300 GPM, but they've done a good job of finding the kills on Behemoth to really delay this to 20 minutes now. But the items are starting to come in now. Like Flux was not this tanky 5 minutes ago, and Scout, well, I guess did he pick up Knuckles after Cleaver? I think he did, which is really odd. I'm actually not too sure why he would pick up Knuckles after Cleaver. I feel like he didn't have the Knuckles, so it's a little puzzling as to why he would buy that after. NG and Flux will get a kill here on the Andromeda. Money Shot comes out to take out Engineer. Switchblade doesn't have his Blade Frenzy yet. He's going to use the counter attack, but here comes the magic damage from the Balfagor. The Marksman Shot as well will take him out, so the bigger kills happening on the side of Legion. Here comes the Shockwave from Behemoth, catches out Balfagor. The Legendary Streak will end up falling, but Flint Basewood dies to Scout and Flux. And it's a double tap coming out for Scout. The Curse Ground now on the Behemoth. This will most likely be a full genocide, as it will be. So a genocide for the Balfagor and the Engineer. And Team Tim now sitting on a 16,000 gold and 14,000 experience lead. So pretty large lead for 22 minutes, as the Scout, I believe, picked up his Firebrand here. There we go. I'm a pretty big fan of Firebrand on Scout. I do like the mobility it offers, as well as building into a Geometer's Bane. The illusions being able to disarm is a very strong addition to his kill potential and disruption that Scout can cause throughout the game. I would like to see him place more electric eyes. I feel like we haven't seen Scout place electric eyes around the map, and although I would normally say I like him blocking the camps with eyes, they do have really good map control now, where we see him farming the enemy jungle. We're gonna see a swap come out onto Voodoo Jester. The Astrally comes out though. He's really tanky. He will end up falling. Scout now goes straight in for the Flint with the disarm, but the Flint will survive with one hit. Energy Field will come down. The Switchblade is magic immune. The Power Throw and the Money Shot will take out Scout, so he gets a little bit too deep there in the fight. Switchblade with the counterattack will not be enough. He will go down. It's a hat trick for Balfagor. He's trying to make it a quad kill, as he no longer has his Hell on Newerth up. Flux will jump in. He will die in return for the Flint kill. Power Throw. It will connect onto Balfagor, and he will actually go down to the creep wave, so Luna picks up a double tap as some dives come out from Team Tim. Some overextensions from, well, mostly from Team Tim, as Scout got caught out of position going for the Flint kill. Flint surviving for a long time bought them enough time to get return kills, and then both the Flux and the Balfagor diving the towers resulted in some counter kills for Legion, but they're still sitting on a 31 to 16 lead. It's still a very sizable golden experience lead, so we'll call it a minor setback, as they would need to do that quite a few times in order to really throw the lead that they have. But they do need to be careful going up against both a Flint and a Switchblade while running the single core Scout. Switchblade, he's gonna run into some mines here. Reactions of my grandma, as he can Blade Frenzy in time the mines. Very unfortunate that he now has to sit on 400 life instead of 967 life. We see Veiled Rot here on the Flint and the Behemoth. Flint will show himself on the creep wave, and they will almost do some baiting style of play here with the Veiled Rot up for another 10 more seconds. But as we can see, there's nobody in the area. We see the side of Team Tim there grouped up here on Hellborn's jungle. And it will actually not be a Frostfield plate. It looks like it will be a Sheepstick as Balthagor picks up the Perpetual Cogwheel, and he needs the Luminous Prism now. Scout again gets caught here. That was not even a swap. He just decides to run in YOLO into enemy revs and 5 people or 4 people. He goes down. Balthagor now, he's pushing the tower. Here comes a beautiful shockwave onto 2. They're going to melt 2 players right off the bat, being the Engineer and the Andromeda. Immediate buyback coming out from Engineer. Flux now, he's on the run. Balthagor, he does have his Hell on Newerth ready to go, but it's only 53 charges, and they will pick up the kill onto Flux. So that is 3 kills going the way of Hellborn, plus a buyback on the Engineer, and they get nothing out of the buyback. So Firebrand now picked up on Flint. I think he's gonna go for Geometer's Bane because there's so many silences he can remove from Legion that I would really not like to see a Frostburn. I don't think that would really benefit him too much. So he needs to try to get to the Geometer's Bane, then he'll have a bit more survivability. But he picks up a Warhammer, so I guess he's valuing Shrunken Head first. However, it's going to be quite a ways away for the Shrunken, and he's still sitting on 1k life. Very dangerous for him as the Balthagor is approaching level 16. Scout, 2k gold saved up. I think it's safe to say he will need a Shrunken Head this game as well, going up against the Behemoth. Would be interested to see if anyone staffs the Scout. I think Flux could possibly go staff as he picks up a Glowstone. I do think Immoboy likes the staff build on Flux, and then he could upgrade the Scout. He could also upgrade the Balthagor, but man, it's tough to say. I do feel like staff on Scout is very good because it allows him to get into the team fight without running in, and he can burst on one guy very quickly with the teleport into the auto attacks from Vanish. But we'll see if we do see a staff picked up eventually. We have Veiled Rot here on the Behemoth. Switchblade and the Flint will both show. There's a Geometer's Bane picked up on the Switchblade. Safe to say that is a very solid pickup, but the Sheepstick picked up on the Balthagor, and I think he will be looking to aim that on the Switchblade before he can get the Blade Frenzy off, and they will be looking to kill him in that window. Scout did buy something. I'm hoping it's Geometer's Bane, at least for now. I think he should be able to get away with a Geometer's Bane into an eventual Shrunken. Yes, okay, so we do see the Geometer's Bane. Defensive Flux push coming out in the mid lane as they were expecting an initiation here. Blue Jester ricing up the bot lane. You see a Neophyte's book picked up on the Behemoth, so that will most likely be a Tablet of Command. A Luminous Prism on a Luna could mean Sand Scepter. I don't think we'll see anything else actually. We could see a Storm Spirit, but I do think the Sand Scepter makes a lot of sense here against the silences. We have mines being placed here. And it looks like they're trying to set up for a Kongor steal. Nothing's really happening. Okay, we see a jump from Balthagor on the Aluna. He uses the Hell on Newerth for the solo kill. As trying to see how they had vision of that guy. Maybe they just saw him from the cliff, or they saw him move from the lane. Behemoth is veiled rotted here. They're gonna go for the steal. This shockwave comes out. He's gonna catch both the scout and the flux, but they don't have the damage to bring them down. Here comes the pull from flux. Energy field comes out after. Switchblade already got his slashes off. He did get curse grounded, but here comes the spin. And this fight is going well in favor of Orcs and Newerth. It looks like Money Shot will take out Engineer. They didn't get the kill on the scout. However, it did end up being a 4 for 3 fight. And who got the token, or who got the Kongor kill? Kongor. Hellborn! Ooh! Busy stole the Kongor. So it was a good shockwave initiation, despite the follow-up not being the greatest. I think that they had the power throws on cooldown, actually, because they would have been able to snipe out, who was the guy here? Was it Flux? Or Balthagor? One of them got really low from the shockwave. It might have also been Scout on very low. I don't think he did the most fighting because he was low health. So a good fight coming out from Orcs of Newerth there. And the Legion Kongor is not up for another 6 minutes, so they will not be able to get their hands on a token, unfortunately. But they do drag the game out a little bit further with the fight as they get the Shrunken now completed on Flint. And Switchblade sitting on 3k gold. I think we could see something like an Assassin's Shroud, perhaps. He may eventually want to build into lifesteal. We see a Sheepstick come out here on the Behemoth. Behemoth will fall? No, he will survive, actually. Okay, there comes the Money Shot from Scout. So they do take out Behemoth. I believe his portal key was on cooldown from the pressure there from Bow, so he couldn't do a nice disjoint. So Blade actually picks up a portal key. We see the energy field comes down. Shrunken Head is popped by Flint. Pull, I believe pull was used as well. So they will get the kill on the Switchblade. Flint will get Money Shot, or Marksman Shot from downtown. And kind of missed that fight because I got distracted by something, sorry. Actually, you know what, screw it. We're in a replay. Screw it. I'm cheating. Okay, let's watch the fight. Scout is going to get stunned up in the tower here. Energy field comes down. Here comes the pull. They pull nobody into the field, actually. But Switchblade, he does get stormed. He can't get his Blade Frenzy off. It looks like he got silenced. He couldn't get his Geometers off either. That was a little confusing there. What happened to Switchblade. But they do end up sniping out Flint, as we saw at the end there. They immediately buy back on the Flint. Behemoth was already dead. And nothing else will come out of it. Tablet picked up on the Engineer. I see Whispering and 3k or 4k gold on the Scout. There's the Staff of the Master picked up on Flux, so he now has the global pull, and the range also increased to 900 units now. on a 60-second cooldown, so. Mines? Oh. Almost kills Flint, but he's a little bit tankier now with the Mighty Blade from the Shrunken.
Someone will get the axe.
Go live Scrim.
Thank you for the sub, Ernemino. Hold that thought as we have a fight maybe happening here. Voodoo Jester is going to stun up the Swiftblade. He does Geometer's Bane the cast. He still gets stunned though. Fissure Stun comes out, but the Scout takes out Behemoth. And Voodoo Jester will actually survive. The Sheepstick comes out onto Swiftblade. Swiftblade will go down. Balfagor already got his Hell on Newerth off. And it's a hat trick for Flint actually, but he will go down. So it ends up being a genocide. 5 for 3 fight in favor of Team Tim as both the Scout and the Flux survive. I don't have a lot of time to stream today, guys, so I can't do live, unfortunately. So sorry about that. I have to do something in a little while, which is why I'm doing the replays instead. So we see Scout taking out the tower in the mid lane with the Geometer's Bane. He will get the melee racks here. Flux also with the Soul's Bulwark. I would almost rather see them push together just so they would kill the buildings faster. Because they only have the Flux hitting with the Bulwark. Behemoth is up now. He's going to get stunned on Scout with the Enrage. Scout actually tanking a power throw. He's going to go in here. Stormsphere from Aluna onto Behemoth. Swap comes out, but the Sheepstick and the Balfagor, they go in. Flux gets credit for the kill. Balfagor gets his Hell on Newerth off before potentially going down. He's going to survive the power throw, but he will end up going down to Swiftblade with the Portal keep linking in there. He has no Blade Frenzy or Swift Slashes yet. And he's manning up on the Flux. Flux will go down. The illusions from Swift were slowing up Scout, but he is invisible in their base. He blinks in onto Mr. Coconut. Coconut goes down. Money Shot comes out on the Scout here. Blade Frenzy doing some really good damage. They actually get the kill on the Scout, but they did lose the second Rax, so big picture, the Raxes do end up falling. And they're still in a 20,000 gold lead, but they got the domination streak from Scout. There was a buyback on the Voodoo Jester? I actually missed that. I'm not sure when that happened. And a buyback on the Balfagor. I actually missed that completely. Here. We're gonna see Engineer get caught here. Fissure Stun. Comet, boom, dead. Gang banged. I'm not sure if it was mining or something. But, such is life of an engineer. I'm a little surprised that Flux didn't upgrade anyone with the staff. He actually chose to go the Soul's Bulwark. But, yeah. No staff upgrade yet for anyone. Balf hasn't really been farming too much. He has had the Mighty Blade for quite some time now. I'm not sure if he has a Warhammer in his stash, but he did buyback, so I feel like he needs everything for the Shrunken still. I do feel like Shrunken is very awkward for Balfagor though. It's mostly because Barrier Idol is just so good on him, but he's playing more of a caster style Balfagor than a frontline tank Balfagor. It Illusions are doing battle here. Scout Illusion's a little bit too strong. Dancing Blade on Swift Blade. Is he going Wingbow? Guess he's going Wingbow. But Scout has money already prepared for this, so he can just sell his Knuckles and buy Savage. Oh, he buys his own Wingbow, actually. I suppose that's fine, too. Since he's going up against both a Flint and a Swift. It's hard to say a Wingbow on Scout is bad. I do think he would rather have the... wait, what? Chamada gave him his orb. Fuck. I do think he would rather have a Savage, but... Wingbow is a Wingbow. Portal key on the Voodoo Jester. Had another money shot coming up soon, but no mana. I think it's 350. Yeah. Needs more mana. Full demonic. Okay. Full demonic on Flux. That I was not expecting at all. I really feel like staff to Balf or Scout would be so good. Or so to Scout. Just because he could insta-give one guy. I do feel like people undervalue staff on Scout.
Condor has been slain.
Sheepstick onto Behemoth, they're gonna catch him right away. Pretty good pick off. Money shot to the dome. Base taking a lot of pressure here. Scout chasing Swiftblade. The silence will not silence Swiftblade anymore. For those who don't know, the silence does not go through magic immunity anymore from Electric Eye. And Swiftblade will die without a buyback. It looks like this will be the game, as they don't have their Behemoth up for 20 seconds. This should be the last Rax, as they also have to defend these side lanes while this is going on. Money shot doing a lot of damage to Flux. But, man, they should just go with the minions from Balfagor here. Just have the minions tank the tower. Energy field is down. Actually, they execute this really nicely. They're going to get the supporting cast. Aluna will survive. I think they should just ignore Aluna here and get the objective, which is the Rex. Because the Behemoth is respawning. Yep, that should do it for game number 1. Pretty nice shockwave though. He gets the engineer and the flux, but it's not going to be enough. And power throws. Whoop. Scout lives on 30 life. Oh, he's got 100% evasion, but it wears off. That looks so funny. Sam, where was the port to your deja vu? That's okay. Anyway, that will be game number 1. We'll go on a really quick break here.